Works for All offers our Dharma Friends newsletter that has been going out to people in prisons since 1997, actually kind of birthed in Lucy Sauer's car as we drove back from the prison, and we talked, yeah, you probably don't remember this.
Of course I remember.
And we talked about, well, maybe we'll have to get this newsletter out. So thank you, Lucy. And so that's been going out for many, many years, and in that is a meditation component, and many, many people appreciate what all of you who are meditating say is the component in there with a meditation each month. And many, many people in prisons around the country and world have started their own meditation groups in their prisons. I think you started one in Russellville since you've been out too. Good for you.
Yeah, it's going great too.
And so giving that foundation of meditation to people everywhere. And then of course, I've been teaching meditation in the prisons since about 1997, and so pretty much has been an active meditation group at Tucker Max for all these years. Jim goes, Renee, Jim, and I go to the Tucker Max and teach that. That class is brimming over the edges, and the dear chaplain has let us have 35 people in the group when the limit is 25, and there's still a waiting list. And sweet Tony is in that group, but it is a fabulous, fabulous group of people who have grown through that their experience with meditation for some of them 15, 16 years, have been working in that group and with us. And they are the leaders and the mentors and the father figures and the guides in a prison where they may never get out, but they are being the ones who are helping those who will get out find healing and a path. So we have the meditation group, we have letters, as Jeremy says, that just getting letters, and especially for folks that have an understanding of what people are dealing with, like Jeremy, that gives them support and guidance and experience, words of wisdom. And so we also are about to begin doing little radio programs that will happen in short radio segments that we'll be offering. And what else do we do? Of course, we're all working in other areas like the racial disparity group that I'm active in, the Coalition Against the Death Penalty, Judith's, and giving talks as much as we can, and holding the introduction to meditation classes and the Compassion Works meditation groups. We offer that, and our website, which has 5 million videos on it for everything that anybody needs, for anything that bothers you. You just go in there and you can find the perfect video to help you with that issue, along with all of our various writings. And we have such a powerful board and group of people that are working in so many areas with volunteers like Jeremy that are writing letters. So we'll talk about more of that in a minute altogether, but Jim, would you like to say a few words? Hey, Jim's turn.
My name is Jim Rule, and I've known Anna since the late 80s.
No, early or late 70s.
Sorry. The decades fly by. Since the late 70s, and I've been her prisoner ever since.
Prisoner of love.
Fortunately, she is a relatively benign warden, so I've been well cared for. And one of the things that she has shared with me, and a whole dimension of life that has opened up, is her work in the prisons. And very early on in our relationship, I found myself participating in the various programs that she has been involved with. And from the very beginning, I mean, you go into the prisons kind of initially thinking, oh, well, I'm going to help these people, you know. Here I am doing a good deed, and I'm doing all this volunteer work, and these guys are really needing somebody to set a good example, of course, like I am. And, well, I found out very quickly that I learned a whole lot more from them than anything that I could be teaching them or setting an example for, because in all the classes that Anna was leading, and this was at several different prisons over the course of years, I never went away without making some profound realizations about life, about my own narrow perspective on life and myself and others, because each one of those classes is a reservoir, a deep reservoir of wisdom, collective wisdom, by guys who have learned how to survive. Now, they've made mistakes. That's why they're in prison, perhaps. Most of them have made serious mistakes. Some are in prison for mistakes they did not make. And that's another dimension of the system that needs to be addressed. So I have found it a profound learning experience over the course of 20 some odd years. And it's been a real blessing in my life. And one of the great teachers that I crossed paths with was named Brother Omar. And he was a Muslim, a black Muslim. And over the course of several years, I would listen to him as he spoke in these different classes that I attended. And one of his themes, recurring themes that he came back to always and shared with the men who had such deep respect for him, was that the challenge for all of us is to be the best that we can be. And, you know, when you boil it down, that's what every religion is teaching us. And no matter who your role model is or who inspires you to try to achieve that goal, that really is, that's all we can try to be. So now we go down to Tucker Max once a month, and Anna leads a meditation class. And one night, a couple of months ago, one of the prisoners who was supposed to lead the meditation class was in solitary, or he couldn't come to class, and he had volunteered to lead the class. And Anna said, "Would you lead the class?" And I thought, oh my God, what do I have to teach? And so somehow I came up with a theme of forgiveness. And I've been a relatively good guy most of my life, but there have been times when I've done stuff that I have yet to be forgiven for. And so I decided to turn it into a kind of a meditation about the different angles on forgiveness. And, you know, there's forgiveness that you seek from God, no matter how you define him or her. And then there's the forgiveness that we need from each other. And then there's the forgiveness that we have to eventually come around if we get to this point. The forgiveness that we have to give ourselves, which is really perhaps the hardest thing. So I kind of threw out my ideas about that. And it seemed to resonate. But for me, it was a way of discovering a dimension of a concept that I'd never really quite figured out as fully as I did when I was preparing for this meditation. So last Monday we went down and another prisoner came and had been assigned the meditation some time ago, and he was ready to lead. And he brought a very large picture of a tree, a giant sequoia tree. And his topic was how we are all trees, and how this giant sequoia, which has been around for thousands of years and is still nourishing and nurturing and shading and providing strength and shade and all these other things for our natural environment. And that was very powerful for me, because I'm just trying to go on the local tree board here in Monell. And I've just written an essay, a kind of an application form that traces the importance of trees in my whole family, because my family came down to Arkansas in the 1890s to start a lumber company in South Arkansas. And so I entitled it Grandchild of the Forest. And so, and I've just saved a tree at the cemetery where my family is buried from being destroyed by people getting buried too close. So, trees have been this recurring theme in my life, and here's this prisoner here, this giant thing, this sequoia tree. And it's all kind of coming together, and I just sat there and I thought, good glory. So this is the kind of experience that working in the prisons has meant for me, because it's like looking in the mirror. It's like it's a religious experience, and it's about learning how to be the best that I can be. And I would urge anyone, whether they have the time or they think they have the time or not, to consider becoming involved in some aspect of the prison programs, because believe me, there's a lot that needs to be done to make it an experience for all these guys and these women to become the best that they can be. And they can.
Yes.
And one of them sits in this class is Jean's husband, Tony. And time again, he has somehow, we talk it around, and then somehow Tony sums it up and brings it to a very clear conclusion about what everybody has been saying, and extracts the essence in a way that is just, it is so profound. And, he's got a PhD in my book.
Mine too.